Ready, Bill?
Yeah. So long, you guys. We'll be seeing you.
Yeah, so long. I'll see you next week. You fellas have a nice Christmas.
Yeah, some Christmas. I don't know what you're so happy about, Norris.
Shaw, quit griping. We can't close up shop just because it's Christmas. Somebody's got to stay on post.
Yeah, that's right. Somebody has to stay, and that somebody's us. We get elected.
And nobody got elected. Your name comes up on the roster, and you're just lucky or unlucky. It's like a lottery. It's just tough luck we didn't win. Well, so what? Next time round, we'll be taking off, and somebody else can keep house.
Oh, sure. Next time around. Oh, that's a big help.
Why don't you take it easy on yourself? Because, man, there's not a thing you can do about it.
Well, maybe there isn't. Maybe there is.
You're not thinking about going...
I never missed a Christmas with my family yet. And this year's kind of extra special. You see, my kid sister's getting married, and, well, she's bringing the boyfriend home to meet us.
Yeah, but bugging out's not the answer. You're going to just get yourself in a jug of trouble.
And parties and planning. You know, but it's almost a year since I've seen any of them.
But you better take it easy. You know, you can try to fight this on. Man, it's a cinch you ain't going to win. Look, I tell you what. I'm going over to theater to meet a fellow from my hometown. You come on along, and maybe we'll go see a moving picture later.
That's a good idea, Norris. I tell you what, you go ahead, and I'll see you over there.
Okay. I'll see you in about a half an hour.
Yeah, okay.
Hi, Sarge.
Hi. Hi, Shaw.
Oh, hello, Sarge.
Looks like the old homestead's really emptying. You still bleeding hard?
Oh, I guess I'll get over it.
Sure you will. We all do. Now you take... Checking your socks, huh? Well, that's one way to kill time.
Yeah, I suppose it is.
Looks like you, Norris, and me are stuck. The only ones left in the barracks. Now we'll have Christmas together. And put on a special feed in the mess hall. Guess it won't be as much fun as being home, but then... Well, those are the breaks.
Yeah, bad breaks.
Could be a lot worse. You take the real job of soldiering. That can cost you a lot more than a chance to be home at Christmas. Much more. The people who start wars, well, they're not too sentimental about that kind of thing.
Yes, the soldier's job can exact a much greater price. It's interesting to note that some of our country's most critical hours have occurred just when the soldier's thoughts have turned to home and to those personal ties from which he has been separated. At times, it would appear as if the enemy actually counted on such occasions as a morale factor to be exploited for his own advantage. Our Sergeant Brooks will tell us something about the American fighting man in just such circumstances. But before we return to him and to Private First Class Shaw, let me just say that I am Sergeant Stuart Queen, bringing you the latest in our big picture series, The Battle of the Bulge. Now let us go back to Sergeant Brooks, who was there.
I remember back in 1944. You might say I was lucky. Made it home for Christmas, first 2 years I was in the service. Then I was shipped out. We were in a man-sized war. First I saw of it was a place called Omaha. I don't mean Nebraska. It was a beach off Normandy. On June 6, 1944, it wasn't a nice place for swimming. After that, the days kind of got telescoped. We slugged and the enemy slugged back. We slugged harder. Then there was San Lo, the worst. But that's where we smashed the best the Nazi could put up. After that, we drove on through France, pushing him over wherever he stood up to fight. We knew just how far that battling had taken us. It was August 25th. This was Paris. And the French had been waiting for their big day for 5 long years. Because Paris had become a symbol. The rest of the world had been waiting too. We were there, of course. One whole division, all spruced up. Yep, we were there, all right. But not for long. We marched through Paris and right out again. You see, we had an appointment to keep. We kept it. It was still war. The enemy wasn't folding yet. He was fighting small-scale actions to hold us while he pulled back to regroup. Whole batches were willing to do their regrouping in our POW cages. Between scraps, we were still getting the Paris treatment. But after the treatment, there'd always be another hassle. Town to take, a river to cross. We crossed our rivers and took our town. Now we were moving into Belgium, Luxembourg. Germany was to be next. We were moving so fast that the rumor machine started grinding out that old line. Home for Christmas. It made no sense, but men will believe anything they want to believe. I said we were moving fast. Know what? We were moving too fast. Too fast for supply to keep up with us. We had only one fort. Sheer manpower, ammo, gas. Everything had to reach us from that distance. We needed the great Belgian port of Antwerp. But the Nazi knew that, too, and held on to it. The war had just about destroyed France's railroads and rolling stock. And so from Cherbourg and even those Normandy beaches where we'd landed,
trucks had to haul everything we needed. Top-ranked planning had figured on an October offensive, but the supply problem was going to delay that final knockout punch. Weeks later, Antwerp was ours, but the enemy still denied us the use of its port. It was beyond Antwerp we got our first setback. An airborne attack that was going to outflank the enemy and take us right into central Germany was stopped cold. Nijmegen ended talk about a quick finish to the war. Nijmegen ended rumors about getting home for Christmas. All of those weeks our buildup had gone on. It still meant hauling from Cherbourg and the beaches, but now we had a super speed system. It was called the Red Ball Express, and to get us set for an all-out offensive, it worked round the clock. Then one day there was an unscheduled meeting at a place called Mons. That little slugfest at Mons had knocked off 2 Nazi armies. More important, it had opened the way to the German city of Aachen. We'd already moved into the enemy's home ground, where they lay on our side of the Siegfried Line, or weren't important enough to defend. But this was going to be a real showdown. We'd have to blast them out of Aachen. And that's what we did. Began to pop up around town. And being polite, we broke out one of our own. Aachen was a starter. Just 1 month later, General Omar N. Bradley called signals and the big blast was on. The Rhineland felt it first. Between us and the Rhineland stretched that Siegfried Line. Its entire length still intact, except where we'd crashed through it at Aachen. The enemy orders called for a standard die fight against the foreign invader. That was us. Assault by air could only soften. The rest was up to us.